You ever have one of those moments, where something happens that feels like the absolute worst thing in the world, but then, down the line, it actually turns out to be a blessing? Well, today we're going to dive into a timeless story that completely challenges our ideas of good and bad luck, and it all comes down to the power of a single, simple word.
So I want you to really think about this for a second. What if that whole line we draw between good luck and bad luck is just not real? What if every single thing that happens, no matter how it feels in the moment, is just one small step on a much, much longer path that we can't see? Let's dig into that idea together.
To really get to the heart of this, we're going to look at this amazing old Taoist parable. It sounds pretty simple on the surface, right? It's just a story about a farmer, his son, and a horse. But trust me, the lesson packed inside is, well, it's huge.
Okay, so the story kicks off with what looks like a total disaster. The farmer's only horse, this is his livelihood, right? The animal he needs to work the land, it just up and runs away. Gone. And of course, all his neighbors come rushing over to comfort him, saying, "Oh man, what terrible, terrible luck."
But the farmer's response to this apparent tragedy, it's not what you'd expect. He just says, maybe. That's it, just maybe. See, he gets it. He knows it's way too soon to call it one way or the other because he can't see the whole picture yet. And then, about a week later, something totally wild happens. His horse comes back, but it's not alone. It's brought a whole herd of wild horses with it. Now, you can imagine the villagers, right? They are over the moon for him, shouting, "Wow, what incredible good luck!" And what does the farmer do? What's his reaction to this amazing turn of events? You guess it, it's exactly the same. He looks at this incredible new fortune, all these new horses, and just says, maybe. But the story's not over. Not long after, the farmer's son is trying to break in one of these new wild horses, and bam, he gets thrown off and breaks his leg, and it's a bad break. So here come the villagers again, shaking their heads, all full of pity. Oh, such awful, awful luck, they say. And by now, you know the drill, right? You can guess exactly what the farmer's going to say. He looks at his son, who's in real pain. This has to be a terrible sight for any father. And with that same incredible calm, he just replies, maybe. And then we get the final twist. The army marches into the village, and they're drafting every single able-bodied young man for a brutal war. A war most of them probably aren't coming back from. But the farmer's son? Well, because of his broken leg, he's the only one left behind. That so-called bad luck of his broken leg ended up saving his life. Okay, so let's really unpack that for a minute. The magic of the story isn't about what happened to the farmer, right? It's about how he chose to see what happened. He was playing the long game with his mindset, with his perspective. And you can see the difference so clearly here. On one side, you've got our normal way of thinking. We just slap labels on everything, instantly. Got a promotion? Good. Got a flat tire? Bad. We act like that one moment is the end of the story, the final verdict. But then you look at the farmer's view, it's totally different. He throws out those labels and just uses maybe. For him, it's not a bunch of separate events. It's one big, interconnected story, where every single moment is just the start of something new. And this brings us to the real key takeaway here, this idea of non-judgment. Think of it like a little pivot you can do in your own mind. Anytime you feel that urge to label something as purely good or bad, you just pause. You remind yourself, hey, these things are connected. This one moment, this isn't the final chapter. And look, this isn't about being passive or pretending things don't hurt. It's just about being wise enough to let the rest of the story play out. So, okay, how do we actually use this in our own lives? Well, it's about remembering that your life story right now is still being written. That job you didn't get, that relationship that ended, that random opportunity that just landed in your lap, none of those things are the end of the book. They're all just plot points on the way to the next chapter. So here's the challenge for you. The next time life throws you a curveball, and it doesn't matter if it feels like the best thing ever or the absolute worst, just pause and ask yourself, am I only seeing this one single event? Or can I make a little room for the maybes? Can I trust that there are still unwritten chapters yet to come? Thanks for joining this explainer. Stay blessed.